Thanks for joining us. Get ready for the NBA here on 2K Sports. Wednesday in the NBA. It'll be the Orlando Magic facing off against the Denver Nuggets. And without any further ado, let's head to Kevin Harlan and the rest of the 2K Sports crew at the arena. I'll be back at halftime. And they've got tip-off goes to Denver. Nelson against Lawson. Passes it to Fournier. Back to Lawson. Pass to McGee. Vucevic on him. Pocket 6. And Lawson, here we go. Here's Fournier. That one falls. Coming off Lawson's feet. Fournier's got himself going there. His first points of the game on the deep ball. Well, Clark, like you said, hard to believe, but it's true. The Magic did have a better record than the Lakers for the early part of the season. But that was mostly due to a surprise down year from the Lakers, Steve, and a hot start for Orlando.
And remember, the Magic did get that big win at Staples against L.A. That was kind of a revenge for the D. Howard trade. But as time wore on, you know, the Magic's lack of talent showed, and they really struggled the rest of the season.
Doris Burke had a chance to catch up with head coach Brian Shaw. Doris, what do you have to say?
Kevin, speaking to him about their game plan, he said it is all about taking care of the ball and not forcing anything. He said the one team that beats us more than any other is ourselves. We'll get sloppy on offense, and it'll be a very tough game for us to win. It's something I stressed to them before the game. Let's see if they heard the message, guys.
Well said, Doris. Thanks. And important in every game, but early on here, guys, we'll be looking out for how they manufacture opportunities.
Well, I know Coach is worried about their shot selection at times, so I'm not surprised at what he had to say.
Steve, I don't know a coach who doesn't worry about shot selection. You talk about something that riles up most coaches, it's seeing their guys taking bad shots. You know, one of the things you always hear about Aaron Aflalo, he's one of the most dedicated professionals in the game. A guy who every summer goes back to his hometown of Los Angeles and works on his game diligently. I mean, he's the kind of guy that always seems to get better year in and year out, just looking to grow as a ball player.
Gallinari, screen on Nelson. Here's Fournier, off target with his three. Here's Nelson. Aflalo dishes to Harris. Gets it to go. And Clark, going back to Aflalo, you ask his coaches, and they're going to tell you about his work ethic and Steve about his leadership.
Yeah, and that really goes all the way back to high school and then, of course, in college at UCLA. A guy who wasn't the star player right away, but at each level, chipped away at it, continued to work, and developed into the player he's become.
Ty Lawson out of North Carolina in his 5th season has really improved his playmaking in the league. Every year he's increased his number of assists, his rate of assists rather. I love his speed as well.
And Lawson's becoming more of a playmaker. Clark, he's also upping his scoring every year. So I'll throw it to you guys right now. You know, where is this kid going?
Well,
Steve?
I'll take this. I mean, I think he's become an elite level point guard, and for Denver to take that next step, you know, that's what it's going to take. He's going to have to become their Derrick Rose, their Tony Parker, and I think Lawson is on his way to doing that.
Now, here is Nelson. Takes the lead pass and denied at the rim, but they call the foul. Whistle blows, and we'll see him shoot 2 from the line.
Boy, you look at Glenn Davis out of LSU, guys, and he might have made one heck of a left tackle in football. 6'9", close to 300 lbs. He's as strong as they come, and yet surprisingly as quick-footed as any big man in the league.
And that one misses. And Glenn Davis, an improving rebounder in recent years, and Stevie uses his size well defensively.
He's tough to back down. He's got a barrel chest, strong legs. Offensively, he's not a guy who finishes over the top, but he's crafty in the way he can go through bodies and find ways to get the ball into the basket.
And he sinks the second.
Well, I tell you what, the Nuggets turned that Pepsi Center into their own personal fortress last season. Had the best record at home in the league. Nobody could run with them, and the game was played at the Pepsi Center.
Now here is McGee. Lawson kicks to Fournier. The Nuggets need to get a shot off here. Puts it up. They get it again. Another shot. Great D that time from Davis.
Had a pretty good look at the basket. Defensively, they did a nice job rotating, forcing the miss.
Oladipo, he's checked in for Orlando. Now about 3 minutes gone in the first quarter. Here's Fournier. And another miss by Denver. In that home record of the Nuggets, you mentioned Clark, 38-3. Been a long time since someone has been able to put up a home record like that. Pretty impressive.
Well, it's always been difficult for teams to go to Denver and play at high altitude. Then you factor in all the back-to-backs and the fact that the airport is a long way from Denver. They're in a different time zone than a lot of teams in the West. So throw all that stuff together, and it's tough to roll in there, arrive 3 or 4 in the morning, and try to win the next night. Denver is really taking advantage of their geographical area.
And here's Nelson, following Ty Lawson's 3. Nelson with it. Now Lawson defending. Oladipo, good.
How about that for a response?
They will say they can give the 3 as well as they can take the 3.
Back to Gallinari. Doubled by Aflalo. Gallinari passes to Fareed. Lets the 3 fly. Goes back up. Rejected by Vucevic. Boston against Aflalo. Back to Harris. There's the dish to Oladipo. To the inside. And out of bounds as the Nuggets gain possession.
Boy, did they ever make a mess out of that one. Terrible turnover.
So Orlando going with an almost entirely new group here. Kyle O'Quinn, he's checked in for Vucevic. Maxio comes in for Tobias Harris. Maurice Harkless is checked in for Aaron Aflalo. And it's Etuan Moore checking in for Jameer Nelson. Now, here's Hickson. Fournier, defended by Moore. Shot clock at 6. Doubled by Moore. Hickson dishes to Chandler. Launches a 3. And there's the shot clock violation. Couldn't get the shot off in time. There's 1:17 left in the first quarter of the game. Maxiel sets a screen for Oladipo. The feed to Harkless. And no good. And a chance to take the lead. Denver in the lead. It's 3-on-3 on the fast break. Here's Miller. No good. Great D that time from Moore. Orlando's gone 1-2 from long range in the first quarter. And Maxiel kicks to Harkless. Out of bounds as Orlando keeps possession. Glenn Davis is checked in for Jason Maxiel. On defense, Denver. Now here's Harkless. Pass to Oladipo. Shot clock at 5. Oladipo off the bench from Davis. Another miss by Orlando. It's 9 seconds separating the shot clock and game. Back to Chandler. It's stolen by Oladipo. And up the court come the Magic on the break. Harkless the pass to Oladipo. And it's Miller penetrating. Feeds it to Fournier. Back to Miller. Gives him the lead pass. It's stolen by Oladipo. Here's Moore.
And the defense just lets him go there.
And once he hit the open floor, there was no looking back. Straight to the rack.
Here's Miller. Can't hit. A good close contest so far as we finish the first.
Quite effective in being able to kind of dominate Eastern Conference teams.
Orlando leading. He kicks it to O'Quinn. Oladipo. Harkless dishes to Oladipo. The pass to Harkless. 6 on the shot clock. A three-pointer, no good. Well, back to the Nuggets. They did well against the East, as you alluded to, Clark. A 19-11 speed against the conference as a whole.
Well, that's right where they wanted to be record-wise, Kevin. Even though the Nuggets got out and ran, they could actually still play with a physicality as well when they went up against the East. So they did pretty well. They swept the entire Central Division. They were the only team to go undefeated against an individual division all last year.
Okay, well, let's check in with Doris Burke reporting from our sideline in this game. Doris, take it away.
Thank you, Kevin. J.J. Hickson last season was 4th in the league in rebounds per minute. He says, quote, all gas, no brakes. That's the way I was taught to play the game. But he says he's much more than just a hustle guy, adding that calling him that takes away from my overall game. I can shoot, I can make basketball plays. He did improve his jump shot last season, and at 25, he has plenty of room to grow, guys.
Well, as his shooting comes along, that's a great way for him to really find his niche, Doris. Thanks. And Nelson gets it to go.
That shot becomes effortless for him when the D is so relaxed. They got to get more intense. Boy, one thing I like about Tobias Harris, he can play 2 positions and he gives you mismatches either way. You know, at the 4 spot, he can pull other big men out on the perimeter and take advantage of his ball skills, shooting, and quickness. At the 3, he can play bully ball against smaller players. I think this young man's got a chance to be an outstanding combo forward in the league. They're hovering around 50% for the game in 3-pointers. That's pretty good. But they've really elevated here in the second quarter.
And Fournier kicks to Chandler. Tried to come right back with the 3 of his own. It's no good. Clark, you mentioned Harris's nice combination of size and skill, able to score inside and Steve outside.
Pretty good finisher and, can make a 3-point shot. It's getting better. It's developed. developing. But he got his chance to play after the trade to Orlando last year and made good use of that opportunity.
If you look at how Aaron Aflalo came into this league and how he plays now, I mean, he's gone from being just a defensive specialist to a starter that can put up some solid offensive numbers as well.
And for Aflalo, he's had the ball in his hands more and more.
And he's improved penetrating and creating his own shot. He used to be more of a spot-up shooter, but really expanded his offensive game. Even can mix in a little post-up game as well.
When the Magic made the big trade they did to send an unhappy Dwight Howard away, everybody thought they'd be the doormat of the league, and that wasn't quite the case. They were able to sneak up on some teams early and had enough talent to battle others late.
Ty Lawson, he's checked in for Fournier. He's off on the second. And as good as their season appeared early on, the Magic did eventually cool off and teams were able to overpower them. Steve, early on, they definitely caught teams off guard, I thought, and were playing well above themselves.
I agree, Kevin. They executed really well. They would run Aflalo and Redick off those screens. Vucevic was a surprise, a really good young player down low. But they've got to continue to build this roster in order to compete at the highest level.
Now here's Chandler, following the shot by Jameer Nelson. And he lobs it up toward the rim. And the bucket counts. And he's on his way to the free throw line. Trying to make it a three-point play.
Boy, he crashed the boards with purpose right there. Well-deserved second chance points for him.
For the Nuggets, Kenneth Faried's checked in for Hickson. And it's Gallinari in for Jarrell Arthur. And let's get your take, guys, in the hustle stats for Orlando.
Came out of the locker room with their running shoes on. I mean, their transition game has been full throttle.
Orlando's gone 2 of 3 when they've stepped beyond the arc in the second quarter. Nelson, the pass to Vucevic. Aflalo outside. The Magic again can't hit.
I mean, that's a shot you can't pass up. He should knock that down.
Miller dishes to Chandler. Lawson. Lawson right side. It's stolen by Harris. Nelson with it. Now guarded by Faried. Harris kicks to Nelson. Out of bounds. Denver takes possession.
He was surprised to see the pass coming his way, and he reacted a little late.
J.J. Hickson, he's checked in for Wilson Chandler. For Denver, they've gone 2 of 4 shooting the ball here in the second. Lawson drives in. Denver passing it around. Miller, the pass to Lawson. Back to Miller. Kicks it to Faried. And fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot 2.
Guys, I think Kenneth Faried was a steal for Denver with the 22nd pick of the 2012 NBA draft out of small Morehead State. His rookie season, he led the NBA in offensive rebounding rate, and he has not let up since.
That one drops. He ties it up. And for Faried, mostly a dunk and putback player offensively, though he has some touch we've seen around the rim.
He's worked hard at it, Kevin, because in college he really didn't show anything beyond 3 or 4 feet, but he's worked on that little 10-foot shot in the lane, and despite his height, he's never going to be a small forward. He's always going to be a power guy battling for position under the board.
And that one falls, and that puts him up by 1 point.
Well, the Magic ended up with just 20 wins on the season, which would be the worst record in the NBA last year, but they at least weren't dead last when it came to wins on the road. Still tied, though, for 3rd worst in the league.
Vucevic, Hickson covering. 6 to shoot. Fades back. Tried to bank it in, but he misses.
Defense better not make a habit of giving him that shot. I mean, he doesn't miss many of them.
Gallinari dishes to Hickson. Back to Gallinari. Hits it from 3-point range. 6 points. When you're a team like the Magic last season trying to find an identity in a rebuilding year, Steve, it can be hard to gel as a cohesive unit on the road.
Well, the whole year it seemed like a lot of the team was trying to figure out the kind of the nuances of team dynamics and the talent of the new coaching staff. And it's frustrating when you're just getting beaten up every night. But you got to go through that to grow as a group. And hopefully this team can be a little better on the road this season.
Timeout is... A new group. Kyle O'Quinn, he's checked in for Vucevic. He's Harkless, comes in for Tobias Harris. Oladipo, he's checked in for Aaron Aflalo. And it's Etuan Moore checking in for Jameer Nelson. There's 1:26 left in the first half of the game. Lawson with it. Now guarded by Moore. Here's Hickson.
Tough break for the defense. He took the heat and drew the whistle.
Yep, but when you get there late, that's what happens.
Wilson Chandler's checked in for Denver. There's 1:17 left in the first half. Fareed, no good. Orlando's gone 3 of 5 beyond the arc since the start of the second quarter. Let's check out what Doris Burke has for us.
Kevin, it certainly seemed the Magic were to be lost after Dwight Howard, but they have quickly turned things around. The development of their young players last year and having the number 2 overall pick in the draft helped speed that process. They took Victor Oladipo and now have a fantastic collection of young talent. We'll see how quickly they can get back to the postseason, guys.
Well, they didn't get it done last season, guys, but they're hoping with the revamped roster, this will be the year. Out of bounds, Orlando takes possession. JaVale McGee's checked in for the Nuggets. Fournier comes in for Andre Miller. There's 39 seconds left to play in the first half. Moore against Lawson. And Moore kicks to Oladipo. He passes to Harkless. Dishes it to Oladipo. Maxeel sets a screen for Oladipo. 4 on the clock. And he connects on the jumper. The screen did the trick. Oladipo's got 7 points in the game. Guys back and forth this first half.
Well, 5 lead changes early on, guys, as we grapple back and forth.
This could be a back and forth game all the way, guys, the way it's being played. This is fun to watch.
He feeds it to Lawson. He dishes it to Gallinari. And again, Denver, no good. And we're through 2 here and a good one. Magic lead by 1. Folks, stay tuned for the halftime show with Damon Bruce for all the highlights from our first half.
And now, brought to you by Sprint.
This is the NBA on 2K Sports, and we're all set for the halftime report. Orlando on top against the Nuggets over at Pepsi Center. Active hands is the way you've described their play. Getting a good amount of steals. They're playing up defensively and picking them off. Tobias Harris making the most of his minutes. How about the way he was able to turn it up in that half? As it went along, he suddenly got rolling. Meanwhile, the Nuggets not to be outdone. And defensively, they've done a good job grabbing rebounds, limiting second chances. Danilo Gallinari making the most of his minutes. Hard to find any fault with what he's done offensively, knocking down over 50% of his shots in that half. And that's all we have for you here in the studio. Now let's send it on back to Kevin Harlan, Steve Kerr, Clark Kellogg, and Doris Burke for the second half of play.
The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
Nice break to get hydrated with Gatorade. And Steve and Clark and I are refreshed and ready to go here as well.
A nice quarter for Harris. He has 8 points, and he's knocked down a pair of three-pointers in this game, too.
Well, they might want to think about setting a few more screens for him to try to give him another open look or two.
Boy, the big fella's showing us a little explosiveness for a change.
Well, maybe Clark is working on his dunk skills because he looked perfectly at home right there.
Yeah, sometimes he can clang those, so glad to see him get that one down.
And while it wasn't the biggest win streak of the season, the Nuggets did have a pretty good rampage of their own from the end of February into March. And because it happened when the Heat were doing what they were doing, the Nuggets kind of flew under the radar.
Now here's Fareed to JaVale McGee. It's rebounded by Vucevic. Vucevic has got 4 rebounds in this game. Nelson off the pick from Vucevic. Nelson kicks to Harris. Pass to a float. Magic moving the ball around. And Davis backs down. And the call will be against Ty Lawson. That is his first foul of the game. Well, as you said, the Nuggets put together their big 15-game winning streak. But, you know, Steve, since it happened, when the Heat rattled off their big push, nobody really even seemed to notice.
Yeah, that's right. It might have worked out in their favor anyway, Kevin, because that win streak really kind of put them into high gear and allowed them to climb into the 3rd spot in the West. Probably was nice not having the media focused on them and wanting to talk to them every day about what was happening in the Western Conference. I just like the way he initiates the pick and roll for his club. I mean, they use it a lot with him because of his success, and it's just difficult to guard.
That's right, Steve. Whether he comes off the screen and takes the shot himself or feeds it inside to the screener, an easy basket is typically the result.
Both free throws good for Nelson.
You know, after that first round playoff loss, the question for the Nuggets is, where do they go from here? I mean, they seem to have put together a season where they did everything they could, but at the end of the day, they came up short because they didn't really execute in the half court.
And getting back to the Nuggets, injuries certainly played a part in their premature end of the season. But they do have to ask some major questions, Steve, going forward as to where they're going to look for crunch time points and play.
Well, this is a team that's built to win a lot of games in the regular season, but you don't know how impactful they can be in a 7-game playoff series because of their lack of a star. I think Ty Lawson is probably best suited to kind of play a Tony Parker type role where he can dominate games, but this is a club that has some interesting choices to make personnel-wise here over the next couple of years.
Good on both.
When you look at Ty Lawson, he was drafted in 2009, a draft class full of point guards. But he got lost in the shuffle, fell all the way to the 18th pick in the draft. But terrific find for the Nuggets, who found their point guard of the future.
And that is good. And the Magic lead by 6. And for the Nuggets, they're shooting only 27% from the field, looking pretty ugly out there. Back to Fareed, wide open. That one falls, coming off Lawson's feet. And you know, for those...
Kevin, an excellent shooter, a really great passer, unbelievable speed, quickness, and vision. But I think it's the change of pace with that blistering speed that really keeps defenders on their heels. He's a perfect fit for the way Denver likes to play.
From deep, Aflalo can't hit, and it's Denver the other way. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Magic will take it.
And not a good idea throwing the ball down the court that far.
So a new group on the floor for Orlando. Magic leading by 4. Into the third we go. 2 minutes in now. Here's Oladipo. And the shot falls short this time.
Great defensive anticipation there to challenge that shooter. That's a poor possession. You just give away the ball with a sloppy pass.
And Orlando making a change here. Harris is checked in. Moore outside. The dish to Oladipo. A three-pointer is right on target. Oladipo's got 10.
That is not enough coverage. Got to do better than that defensively. Basically, no coverage. I mean, defense did not look very good there.
Now, here is Lawson. He has 7. Hickson sets the screen for Lawson. Shoots off the screen. Count that one. Lawson's got 4 this quarter.
Great job of utilizing that screen and finding space to knock down the jumper. Good basketball.
Now, here's Oladipo. He's guarded closely. And out of bounds as the Nuggets gain possession.
I'll tell you what, that's just a major unforced error right there, guys. My goodness.
A different look for Denver. Chandler comes in for Gallinari. And Andre Miller is subbed in for Fournier. The Nuggets trail by 5.
Boy, it was a wreck of a season for the Magic last year. Started off decently, but then it went downhill fast. 10-game losing streak, followed shortly again with a 12-game losing streak. Surprisingly, they did play well against the West, though. You got to love the big bucket in the paint in this sort of grinded-out physical game.
Yeah, that was your game, Clark. Pound it inside, take the ball right to the defense.
That's what I tried to do, man. I knew my limitations.
And Denver has possession after the Magic pick up 2. Miller off a pick from Fareed. Miller right side. Back to Chandler. Pass to Lawson. 5 on the clock. Harkless comes with a double team. And there's the whistle on the shot. Took the foul. Shot misses. He'll be shooting 2. And Clark, as you said, probably the last thing anyone expected last season was for the Magic to do well against the West. But it happened, Steve. Half their wins came out of the conference.
Yeah, they actually had a winning record against the Pacific Division, believe it or not. I think some of that is that the Western teams kind of took Orlando for granted, particularly on the road. But look, in the end, it doesn't matter what your record is in conference, against divisions, against the league. What it's about is your total record, and they're looking to get better.
Vucevic checked in for Orlando. Davis comes in for Maurice Harkless. Aflalo kicks to Harris. The feet to Oladipo. The Nuggets making a switch here. Fournier is checked in. And Vucevic kicks to Aflalo. Davis. And a moment now to look at the scoring approach in terms of where the points are coming from for the Magic.
So far, they've turned in a fantastic performance from the three-point line. It's been a weapon all game.
The other thing that jumps out to me is just the big number of assists they've had. The offensive efficiency has been a major factor.
And the first one at the line is good.
Look at the free throw percentage. Unblemished since halftime, Clark. That's pretty nice.
I'd go farther than that, Steve. How about perfect?
And both free throws good for Davis.
You know, last season, a tough one for Glenn Davis. First, a left shoulder sprain caused him to miss a month. Then a broken foot cost him the final 2.5 months. And he's hoping he can just stay healthy this go-round.
Chandler, the pass to McGee. Back to Chandler. Pass to Miller. Shot clock at 6. Rejected by Aflalo. Oladipo with the ball. 10 points for him. Vucevic dishes to Oladipo. Oladipo off the bench from Vucevic. Doubled by McGee. From 17 feet out. And it's Vucevic missing. And for Glenn Davis, in that foot injury at 6'9", close to 300 pounds, he does carry a lot of weight on those feet.
Sure does. But that's his natural body type. And he's done some things with his diet to try to slim down and limit some of the wear and tear on his legs. But if he can maintain his health, Davis is always a guy who really provides a good, solid presence for his team.
Here's Aflalo after the made shot from McGee. Aflalo kicks to Oladipo. Oh, good with triple. Misses off the left eye.
His touch has disappeared on him this quarter. He just hasn't been able to get it going.
8-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Fournier. And it's Orlando with the rebound. And here's Oladipo. Harris kicks to Oladipo. A follow outside. Defended by Fournier. Lets it fly from 18. No good. 3/4 of play in a close game here. It's the Magic up 3. From the Pepsi Center in downtown Denver. We're back in a moment. The Nuggets trail by 3. Lawson with it, and it's Nelson picking him up. Lawson the pass to going up. Feeds it to Fareed. Shot is off. Some solid defense from Harris. Orlando's gone to the three-pointer 11 times tonight, nailed 5 of them. A follow kicks to Vucevic. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
What a breakout year for Vucevic. He was given the chance to start for the Magic, and he showed that he belonged in his starting 5. Just a really good gamble on a player, and the big fellow looks to be an impact player for them for the foreseeable future.
That free throw good from Vucevic. And for Vucevic, in his 2nd season in the league, 4th in voting last season for the most improved player, and I couldn't disagree.
I would not either, Kevin. And you've got to like his defensive potential. He's 7 feet tall, and he's got a 7'4" wingspan, so he can help provide all kind of protection around the rim. And he's got an excellent motor too. He makes the most of his imposing frame. I like what this guy has been and could become.
That's good.
Well, you hate to see a guy suffer through a game like this, but his team is winning.
There's the 3. That's good from Chandler. And the assist by Lawson. And that's now 6 points for Wilson Chandler. Harris kicks to a follow. And they come right back with their own 3-pointers. And the Magic lead by 6.
Most any NBA player can make you pay when you leave them that wide open. That's why you have to stay alert on defense.
Doubled by a follow. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Magic will take it.
Well, that's inexcusable to throw a pass that far off the mark.
Maurice Harkless is checked in for Orlando. Here are the Magic now. He kicks to Vucevic. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there.
Way to play in attack mode and get inside.
If you're on defense and you're going to foul, make sure it's a good one. They did, preventing the and one.
And he can't get the first one. And he's good on the second. Final quarter of play, about a minute and a half off the clock into it. Knocked away. A follow goes in and is blocked by Fournier. Nelson against Lawson. Chandler outside. Back to Lawson. And there's the foul. It'll go on Mo Harkless. That's foul number 2 for him. Kyle Quinn is checked in for Vucevic. Nelson against Lawson. 6 on the shot clock. And here's Gallinari outside. Free dishes to Hickson. Back in off the glass.
You know, it's really going to be all about hard work from this point on. They work hard to create that high-quality shot right there.
Yeah, and that's their goal down the stretch. Continue to find those close-range shots.
Now, here is Nelson. A follow outside. The 17-footer. Can't get it to go. Some solid defense from Fournier. The Nuggets trail by 5. Hickson passes to Lawson. Kicks it to Fournier. The pass going up. For 3. And it's Gallinari again missing.
This has not at all been the kind of performance they've needed out there. Well, most of all, I just love the work he puts in on the offensive glass. So many of his points come on putbacks just because of sheer hustle.
And I also can't get over how much energy he expends rebounding the basketball. He goes all out on the boards every single night.
And the free throw, no good.
Without question, last season was the best of J.J. Hickson's career. A new field goal high in terms of percentage, and his rebound rate went off the charts. Played his way into a nice contract, too.
The follow kicks to Harkless. Magic moving the ball around. A floater, and J.J. Hickson pulls it down.
Hey, I like creativity and a circus finish as much as anybody. But you better be sure you got a chance to make it.
Gallinari inside the three-point line, and he comes off the screen to carry the jump shot. And looking by the Kings.
Yeah, he's bounced around a little bit, but I thought had an excellent season in Portland last year and has solidified his position in this league. He's an active, energetic big man.
Catching up on the changes for Orlando. Glenn Davis is checked in for Kyle O'Quinn. Ejuan Moore comes in for Aaron Aflalo. And it's Oladipo in for Jameer Nelson. And let's get this update now from Doris Burke, who's across the way on the sideline.
Well, over that break, I listened in on what head coach for the Magic was getting across in the huddle. He tried to really fire them up to bring it home, saying, all night, you have all night to rest after the final buzzer. For now, you have to lay it on the line and try to bring it home. Guys, back to you.
Harkless with it. Now Lawson defending. Oladipo pitches to Moore. Moore gets the screen for Nichols. And the call will be against Fournier. That's his first foul. .139 left in the fourth quarter. And Oladipo kicks to Harkless. Clock at 6. Davis against Hickson. Rejected by Hickson. The Nuggets trail by 3. Lawson right side. With the floater. And the dunk by Fareed.
Went for the two-hander on that slam. That's where the weight room comes into play, Kevin.
I think some urgency from him there.
Yeah, he's sensing this is a critical time in this game, guys.
Now here's Harkless. Oladipo off the bit for Nichols. Fires, high post. Yes!
Oh, what a basket in. That's the perfect.
Vucevic is checked in. There's 57 seconds left to play here in the fourth. Lawson gets a screen from McGee. Wants in the pass to McGee. Free, right side. Sinks it. And what a sensational bucket to bring them within one. And the crowd roaring to life.
That was a huge shot. And they're just about dancing in the aisles now.
What an eruption in this building.
Now, here's Oladipo. Here's Harkless. Kick out to Aflalo. He passes to Oladipo. 6 to shoot. The Magic need to get a shot off here. Aflalo, no good.
Now they both believe they've got to do a better job offensively creating some space.
Denver's gone 1 of 3 from outside the arc since we've reached the fourth quarter. Lawson up top, defended by Oladipo. This is to Fournier. He feeds it to Lawson to take the lead. Here's the triple. Time call here. The Magic.
Enough time for a quick putback if you miss.
Here's Nelson. Oh, he had a chance there to send it to overtime, but they come up empty-handed. Towards the Nuggets, taking the W in a close one. Well, they don't get much more exciting than that part.
They sure don't. And when it was gut check time, this team kept their composure, kept their emotions in check, and got it done.
Well, that'll do it. For Doris Burke, Steve Curry, Clark Kellogg, this is Kevin Harlan saying so long. We'll see you next time. And as we leave, we give you our Jordan Player of the Game, Ty Lawson.